Aries, this is your energy check-in love reading. We're tuning into the person on your mind or your current situation and the energy unfolding for you right now. Let's see what wants to come through. Clear messages, advice, and guidance from my Aries, please. Okay, so you're showing up as the Nine of Swords in reverse, okay? Your person, the Ten of Swords in reverse. They're viewing you as the Devil, Capricorn energy. What you're not seeing is the Three of Pentacles. And your final outcome, we have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, all right. I was feeling I was having this feeling that all the cards were going to come out in reverse, and when that happens on this channel, we put them upright. All right. All right. So Aries, it looks like some of you, you may be losing sleep over this connection. You may be, losing sleep over, if there's been a painful ending between the two of you. Maybe you've been waiting for this person to end something to come towards you. I can tell you that you're both really stressed. You're both really stressing about each other right now. But I do like the fact that with the Knight of Swords here, you're going to get clarity. You're going to get communication. And that's going to lead to the new beginning here that you're looking for, the Ace of Wands. Now, that new beginning certainly can be with this person, or it can be in a new direction. All right, but right now you're in the Nine of Swords, so you may be feeling a little bit dysregulated. You might be losing sleep over this. You might be feeling stressed and anxious here. This can be Dark Night of the Soul type energy. All right, we see the Queen of Cups showing up in reverse. Yeah, definitely feeling a bit emotionally drained. You might be wondering if you were emotionally manipulated. Some of my Aries, there have been some, tears here, some sleepless nights, some tears. All right, you're viewing this person as the Page of Wands in reverse. So you might be seeing this person as childish, as foolish, somebody who rushed in and out of this connection, somebody who made a stupid decision here. This can even be player type energy. All right, Aries, Leo, Sag there. And you're viewing the connection, Aries, as the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So one that can't keep going the way it was going, even if it was a short-lived connection. But I also think that you're holding space for this, Aries. With the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, like you're doing a review, you're taking a look at, the time and effort, whether it was a little or a lot put into this connection. And I think you're also realizing there's some big changes here that need to happen. Your person's energy, the Judgment card. Now this to me, Aries, Scorpio energy is telling me this person is making a decision. I heard I'm making a decision once and for all to turn things around. Okay, so to do things differently. All right, so it does feel like you have somebody here who wants a second chance here, Aries, or wants to up-level this connection. All right, but something isn't right. All right, trust your intuition and keep seeking for more answers until your situation feels right. Okay, so yep, something has been off. Okay, intuitively you were picking up on that, and that might have led to a lot of the stress and this worry. Some of you found out something was off, okay, or something wasn't right. And we see getting nowhere. You may need to adjust the lens of your life, change your mindset, and then change your lifestyle. You can still turn things around. So what I'm getting here is, for a lot of my Aries, maybe this connection just wasn't moving forward. I don't know if they were just really focused on the physical. Maybe they weren't choosing you out in the open, introducing you to friends and family, that type of thing. Or you just may have felt like you were just going round and round with this person, like the same thing kind of kept repeating. So Spirit's saying you can choose to be lost in the labyrinth of life, or use these trials to harness your inner strength and come out stronger and wiser. Yeah, so it's like your choice. There's something here that needs to change. You know that. You already are very well aware of that with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Because it's like either you just keep falling back into the same cycle with this person, or this person represents the same relationship repeating over and over. All right, and Spirit saying accept your blessings. You certainly do have blessings coming towards you. Believe that the door of abundance is waiting for you. The clearer the goals, the quicker you'll get there. Okay, so you do have abundance, you do have blessings coming, but it comes through doing things differently. And I think you realize that either within this connection or moving away from this connection and saying, you know what, I've been here before. I've witnessed this before. I'm not doing it again. So your person, the Ten of Swords, they've definitely, there's an ending here. Now, some of you, it's a painful ending with you. For others of you, it may be with somebody else, or they've experienced some sort of personal loss or trauma. All right. We see the Page of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So I do think this person has feelings for you, maybe wants to come in with an apology or make you a love offer. Yep, they don't want to hold back anymore. They want to work things out with you. They want to get on the same page, Aries. And we see the Five of Swords in reverse. Yeah, but this person definitely wants to heal things with you, or they want to get on the same page. Again, maybe you guys just had like a terrible first date. But for a lot of you, I don't think that's the case. I mean, I think there's a pattern here that needs to come to an end. You're aware of it. They're now aware of it. They want to heal things with you. The Devil card, I was going to say Aries energy. It's not Aries, it's Capricorn energy. This person is very attracted to you. I also think they're losing sleep over you. You know, this is an energy of being low-key obsessed here. Okay, the Lovers card. See, they think you're the one. They feel like you're the one. They're also very physically attracted to you. I mean, there's a lot of like sexual fantasy here with the Devil and the Lovers card. But this is also like a twin flame soulmate type energy. All right, the Three of Wands, they see that you're distant. They might be worried about you having other choices or some sort of interference in this connection, but they want a relationship with you, or they want reunion. They see stability and security. Okay, now their energy, the Seven of Wands. This person, if they thought they were going to walk away, they certainly can't. But the Seven of Wands is also like, I do want to fight for this. You know, she's about to go on this journey, which is a little bit scary over that little bridge. But she's about to go on this journey, but she's looking back. So this person is looking back at the past, or this person isn't quite ready to move on from you. I do feel like the Seven of Wands is also like, I do want to fight for this. Okay. So let's see what else we need to know about this person for my Aries, please. What else do my Aries need to know about this person, please? What else do my Aries need to know about this person, please? Okay, so we see they could be an artist or a creative. They can express a dimension of life that's just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Okay, and we see monk or nun, negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety or piety. So I'm just kind of wondering, like, sometimes this person might be somebody here that was like more devoted to like their work or their hobbies or doing things differently, and they may have kind of like allowed this connection to be on the back burner. I also feel like sometimes this person, I mean, this can be somebody who's not as devoted or wasn't as devoted as you would like them to be. All right, now it could be that there's third-party interference here. But I don't know. I kind of feel more so this person maybe was more like acting selfishly or childish when it came to like up-leveling this connection, or like really showing up in a committed way. Okay, so let's see how they're viewing you, because we did see the Virgin archetype showing up there, which tells me like it's not like this person was cheating. That's not the energy I'm getting necessarily, although they may have been acting foolishly or acting like a player or something like that. I get a bit of a rebellious energy from them. They see you as the engineer here, Aries, an ability to give creative energy a practical expression and a talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So they see you as practical, they see you as creative. All right. They see you as also, you two being able to work things out here, come up with some sort of compromise or practical solution. But they see that you may have an inability to defend yourself against negative forces. Now, I don't think they think that you're weak or anything like that, but they may be worried that you've been influenced by gossip or people around you. This person may also be feeling right now that they do need to protect you in some way, Aries. All right. So this whatever's going on between the two of you, I do think that they're starting to feel kind of protective of you. They might be worried about other options coming around. They might have heard gossip. They might feel like you're susceptible to gossip or like hearing things about them that are untrue, or like somebody trying to sabotage this connection. Behind the scenes, the Three of Pentacles, this person does want to work things out and they want to get on the same page. All right, we see the Queen of Pentacles. Again, this person might be an artist or very creative, but the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who takes good care of her house, her home, her finances. It's also somebody who's building, wants to build and grow, wants to work things out. The King of Cups, but sometimes this person may come off as a bit emotionally unavailable. And I know not for all of you is this person an artist, but for some of you they are. And I kind of feel like whether they're an artist or not, this is somebody who may have a tendency to come off as kind of emotionally unavailable and a little bit self-absorbed, especially when they're in a zone, when they're in that energy of creativity. All right. And so sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating because you might kind of feel like you lose this person sometimes, like when they're creating or when they're working, or when they get really involved in like a project around the house. I just feel like this person has this like really intense focus on like projects or creativity. Okay, and so sometimes you might be like, hello, like I'm here, or there are two of us in this together. Okay, and we see the World card, but they definitely do want to come back around. They're ready for a new beginning. They may be just feeling a little bit emotionally drained as well at this time. Okay, the Knight of Swords, Aries, tells me that you have clarity coming in. You have communication and clarity headed your way. All right, we see the Nine of Swords in reverse. So you showed up as the Nine of Swords, and now at the end of the reading, it's like you're coming out of that. So there's going to be some sort of clarity coming that's going to also pull you out of any sort of anxiety or, fear-based energy. The King of Swords is something you're not going to see coming. And we see the Six of Cups showing up in reverse. And we see the Six of Swords. So this person is definitely coming back around, Aries. But there are some warnings here in these cards. You're going to get clarity. You're going to get communication. And I do think it's like you coming out of survival mode. This is you coming out of, the worst is over. Now it's time to blossom and grow into something more. So I do think like you're grounding. You're going to be seeing things more clearly. Now we see the King of Swords and the Six of Cups in reverse. The King of Swords in reverse is a big red flag for me though. All right, now it could be that there's an ex who wants to come back around or was meddling in this connection in some way, shape, or form. But for a lot of you, I do think in the past this person has acted quite selfishly. And you know that. And I feel this is a bit of a warning, Aries, because it's something that needs to be addressed. And I was getting that here as well. Like this person may, when they're focused on something, it's like nothing seems to get in the way. But there's that can be a personality thing, that can be also a good thing, right, with somebody who has like intense focus. But it kind of feels like they have a tendency to be kind of self-absorbed, and I just think there's something there that you need to be aware of. I did a bonus reading for Cancer yesterday, and it was like, you can have this relationship, but at what cost, right? I don't get the same vibe here, because I do think this person is genuinely coming in, and there's, potential for like healthy, honest repair. But there's something about the past, the way this person has acted or behaved, that does need to be talked about. And it really does need to be addressed, Aries, okay? So I feel like it's really important that, when this person does come back around, that you don't hold back and you let them know how this made you feel, and or that this can't happen again. Or if this is a pattern, you're done. Okay? Because it does feel like Spirit's asking you to take a little bit of a hard line here, to not let this, let this slide, or sweep this under the rug. All right. Which, you know, I don't think my Aries will, but it's just a little message there. All right. Because you don't want to fall back into like the same patterns. And, you know, that's the Nine of Swords in reverse as well. Can be like, oh, okay, this feels good to reconcile or to get this apology, but, you know, are things going to actually change? Because it does look like there are things that need to change here. Okay. Yeah, and you know that because that Eight of Pentacles in reverse, there's something that, you know, can't continue. But it does look like with the Judgment card, this person is making that decision and that they are, you know, they're making a decision to turn things around. So I do think there has been some personal evolution here, Aries, but it's just going to be up to you whether or not it's good enough. Yeah, putting thoughts in my mind. So again, this person might be, you know, listening to, I don't know, I'm wondering if they were like kind of, you know what I heard is like sometimes this person might listen to like podcasts and things like that. They might have been like a little bit under the influence of somebody's advice, friends or family or something on social media. This person has fears around love, but they are feeling drained. I do think that they're really missing you. Okay. I do see like a little bit of emotional immaturity. I was going to say Cancer, but Aries. But it's because I was mentioning that Cancer bonus reading, which may or may not be for you guys. And again, if a reading isn't resonating with you, do check out your other signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I also like to check my North Node if I'm dealing with a soulmate connection. And if you have Cancer placements or you're dealing with a Cancer, or if you just feel like checking that out, you know, I will see if I can link it to this video. All right, so Aries, what else do we need to know about this person? They're not who you think, so they might be, you know, there's more to them than you may realize. They might be more insecure than they come off as. All right, and we see judgmental. And if you felt like they were a bit judgmental towards you, Aries, it's probably because they were feeling like they weren't good enough or they were slightly out of their league. Sometimes people do that, right? To try to, you know, even the playing field a little bit if they come off as judgmental towards you because they're not feeling, you know, particularly strong. We do see perfect match coming through. So again, there's compatibility here. There's a lot of compatibility here. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else do we need to know here, please? What else do my Aries need to know here, please? All right, so time alone or in nature will help you recharge. Yeah, and I also think like get your head clear. Firm boundaries are needed now. See, that was the King of Swords and the Six of Cups in reverse here for you. Some distance is bringing clarity. I absolutely think that's the case. And this relationship is moving towards sacred union. So this relationship certainly can be something, you know, solid, stable, and secure. This period of time apart and setting boundaries. Maybe strengthening this connection. Yeah, and somebody here is going through a spiritual transformation. I think that this person's going through a major wake-up call, Aries, to be honest. All right, so let's see what else we need to know. What would they like to say to my Aries? What do they want to say to my Aries, please? I can't get enough of you, and I bury myself in work to forget you. And I don't know how to feel right now. I'm feeling confused, okay? Yeah, I could definitely see that. All right, what would they like to say to my Aries that they might not be able to articulate? What would they like to say to my Aries that they might not be able to articulate here? All right, being apart has been life-changing for me, that's for sure. All right, I can't seem to find the right words to say to you. All right, and I got spooked, I got scared. All right, if I knew then what I know now, I would have made different choices. Yes, okay. I definitely feel that. So this awakening is definitely happening on their part. All right, Aries, let's see what are their very next actions towards you in the next like 4 or 5 days or so? What are their very next actions towards my Aries? Tower, they're going to shock and surprise you. Ace of Coins that may be coming and telling you they've missed an opportunity. All right, Temperance energy. What I'm getting is at the bottom of the deck, we see the Queen of Wands. That's your energy. This person's coming in. I think they're going to really shock and surprise you over the next couple of days. Now, the Ace of Coins and the Nine of Coins. Now, this is the Ten of Coins. This person, I feel like they might come in and tell you they're worried they've missed an opportunity. They might act a little bit, I want to say childishly, or like they're going to show you in some way that they've missed an opportunity, that they have regret. But it might be like, it might not be the most like emotionally and intelligent way. I don't know how to put that. Temperance energy, again, they might reach out with some liquid courage. They might be under the influence. Again, that could be what I'm picking up here. Or they just kind of blurt something out and it's like brutally honest, but it might lack a little bit of like couth, or they don't come into social graces or something like that. But it's going to give you the clarity you need. All right, Aries. All right, so let's wrap this up with the grounded response. Advice and guidance for my Aries, please. Advice and guidance for my Aries, please. Stay in self-respect. Act in ways you won't need to justify to yourself later. All right. Release expectations and just meet reality as it is here, Aries. Okay. Pause before you act. Give yourself space before responding. That's not in order to be avoidant, but just give yourself, be regulated. Respond from a place of regulation here. And choose calm over urgency, right? So just, take your time, choose calm over really reactive energy, and Spirit saying, stay grounded here. All right, my lovely Aries, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.